we got the scales off these things, they're a little easier to lift.
Can't even get it on camera, it's so big.
Oh, well, I better back up a bit. Oh, weightlifting contest, eh, Cody? What do you think of that? And there's Karen with the other two.
This one's mine.
Yeah, she caught, that's the prettiest one.
This is the one I let go.
You let it go?
Yeah, I let two like that go.
Okay, we didn't let that one go.
No.
But we saw lots of bigger ones get let go. Oh well, there's more where they came from. Maybe next year.
Looking fillets there, Larry.
Not bad. Not bad. This is the tough part, though. I'm not that good at it.
Oh, that looks all right.
But we're just gonna fillet the one we're gonna smoke.
Mm.
Weighs
Nice
a little
and-
less now, I'll tell you.
Nice and red, though.
I think the wasps have discovered it.
Uh-oh.
So it's time to go check out the old smoking machine and just see how that salmon is doing. Got her all slabbed up, cut up, put in the brine, and got the smoker going here. Pretty basic system. Smoke coming out the old fridge there. At the back here we got a 5-gallon bucket, upside down, a cast iron fry pan, and a heating element underneath it to make it smoke. Old smoker here, and see if we can see anything inside there. Oh yeah, there it is there.
What are you doing there, Larry?
Well, you can see we've got this fish all trimmed up. We've taken off a little bit of the belly fat and these bottom fins that are awfully bony and gristly. Now we're ready to start cutting it into lengths for the can. So you can use the can as a guide, and you should cut them the right length. Meanwhile, that fish that we put in the smoker a little earlier, been there for about 4 hours now. We'll be checking that out shortly. I use 2 knives here. Always got to keep lots of knives handy. This is a saw knife, and then you need another sharp knife to cut through the flesh. The saw knife tends to make a little bit too much sawdust, a little bit too coarse of a cut for the bone. So basically you just cut her up like this through that bone, and a nice sharp knife cuts through the small bones and the skin just like that. And we'll trim those up to fit into the cans later, but at least they're the right length right now, and we'll do some more in a minute. So, while I've been cutting that 35-pound salmon into steaks, Karen's been over here washing up cans and jars.
Careful to rinse them. Get all the soap off.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. Make sure they're well rinsed. And then, of course, they have to be sterilized. And they go into the big pressure cooker. There they are, getting sterilized. And then when that's all done, we'll be ready to stuff them with the salmon as we cut it up and stuff it in. Make sure you have lots of supplies ready. Oh, there they are, all over there on the table. You got to have everything ready when you're going to do a job like this. And so we're half finished this. We'll finish that off and continue on in a minute.
So what do we have here?
Well, when you're smoking salmon, sometimes your patience just don't allow you to wait. So what we do as a little trick is we smoke a few of the bones and a few of the scraps and bits and pieces, and then we take them out every once in a while, and it's a good way to test to see if your brine is right, or if you should do something different, or if you need to smoke it a little bit more. Of course, you got to wait till it gets to the firmness that you like, but yes, that's almost enough smoke. But this is a thin piece, you've got to remember. The thicker pieces need more smoke.
Show me a thick piece of salmon there, Larry. One that you've cut for the canning.
Well, there's a nice steak. That would make a nice barbecue steak, that one, eh? But what we'll do is we'll cut this up into pieces to fit into the can. We'll get to that in a minute.
Back to tasting, eh?
Hi. Well, now the tough part, trying to fit these steaks into the jars. So basically, you just have to almost make donuts. And so you cut the steaks to fit in the jar, and eventually you get to the point so you got all these little leftover pieces and you cut them up and shove them in the little cracks and crevices and fill the jars totally and make sure you get all the air out. But you got to still leave a little gap at the top, and that's why we cut them so that when they fit in the jar, there's that space at the top. And the same for the cans, a little space at the top. And we'll just keep filling these up, and then we'll show you what we do after we get them all filled up.
Oh, you've done quite a few already, it looks like.
Well, we're just getting started, but we're going to end up with probably about 40 jars of this tonight.
Sounds great. We'll look forward to the next part.
So there's the first batch that's going into jars. Karen is putting in the half teaspoon of salt and how much vinegar?
1 teaspoon of vinegar.
1 teaspoon of vinegar in each half pint jar. About the same as an 8-ounce can of salmon. Then what do you have to do, Karen?
Then you have to get your lids, put the lids on, and then get your sealers right here. The important part is you have to wipe the tops down to make sure there is absolutely nothing on top that will interfere with the sealing process.
Okay. Then you just put the lid on there.
Put the lid on.
Show me how you do that.
I don't have a lid handy.
Oh, the lids. Oh, that's right. Why? Because
I haven't boiled them yet.
the lids have to be sterilized, and that also.
Just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then take them out, and we'll go to that in about 2 seconds.
Okay. That also softens the seal a little bit when you boil the lids, so that it seals a little bit better too. Okay, we'll get on with the next step in a minute. Well, here we are. We've got all the salmon in the jars, and now
Careful to wipe the top.
in the last one.
Yeah, I'm doing my last one here.
Okay.
Okay, then your lid.
Yeah.
The lid on. And then I always hold it in the middle here so it doesn't move. And then tighten it up.
How tight?
Well, as tight as it feels comfortable. I don't have to tighten it with a wrench or anything.
I usually give them one more little twist after you do it, but
Well, you're a little strong.
they don't have to be real tight, do they?
No.
Okay, so those ones are ready to go in the pressure cooker. And what's happening in the pressure cooker right now?
Now, we just have to take out some more sterilized cans.
Okay, so we're going over here. Oh, we got some cans done already. Okay.
Finish the cans off.
Okay, well, we'll show you how we put them in the cans, and I'll show you how we...
Hi, Larry.
Hi, well, when you cut those big pieces, they slip right into the can really nice. And then, of course, oops. Sometimes you have to use a knife on the side to let the air out, because you want a nice tight fit. You want the fish to go down into the can, and this one won't go as nicely as I want, so I'll trim a little bit off that one. But what do you do when you end up with a piece like this? Well, you just curl it in and use off one of those smaller pieces that you trimmed off before, and you shove it in there and shove it down tight and try to get all the air out. Sometimes you have to use a knife around the side to get the air out, and that's what you do. You use up those small pieces as you can, a little bit at a time. By the way, these tomatoes here have nothing to do with what we're doing. They just happen to be here. We picked them off the patio this morning, but they do give you an indication, you know, that nice red color compared to the salmon. Yes, this is nice red salmon. So we'll get on with canning these in the canning machine in a few minutes and show you how we put the lids on them.
Okay, so we canned some.
Well, we haven't canned anything. All we've done is put the salmon in the cans, and
Well, there's some nice looking jars right there.
so there's the lids, and
Can you show us the lids again there, Larry?
yeah, well, there's the lid there.
Quite wide.
Yeah, quite wide. And there's our little canning machine. We put them in the canning machine and put this lever down. And this is the part I really like because it reminds me of reeling in the fish. And I know now we're at the last step before they go into the canner. And I just love it because it feels like, oh, I'm reeling in that fish again. And this is the last step. Well, there we are. There's a can of salmon. All we got to do now is pressure cook it and
Eat it.
then give it away to our friends, I guess, or whatever.
We'd like to see that process again in a few minutes.
Well, okay, here we are. There's the can, there's the lid, there's the, remember, half teaspoon of salt, a little bit of vinegar. Vinegar is just to help dissolve the bones. You can cut down on that if you like, but then you just put her in the machine and
Crank her down.
away you go. And here comes another big 30-pounder. Oh. But this one's not getting away.
Nope, this one's
We
dead.
got her.
Good show, Larry.
Okay. Started turning that crank, and Karen wants to have a go at it, so let's see if she can figure it out. It's not all that hard. Okay, if you lift it up a little bit first.
Okay.
Okay, lift it up and then push the handle down.
It won't go down.
Oh, it won't go down because you have to lift the whole top mechanism up.
Well, how do
See,
I do?
all of these things are different. Okay, I'll stop the camera for a minute and show you how to do it. I think she's got it now.
Okay, now
Now
down.
push the lever all the way to the bottom, and
Now
now
turn.
turn the crank.
Okay.
And it's not that difficult, but
It's like down rigging.
yeah, well, it depends on your machine. I mean,
Going past one. Okay,
Keep
now
going.
it's sealing. You can feel it sealing.
yeah.
This one it gets difficult to
You can
push. Number
actually,
two.
it's like sailing. You can feel the pressure on the handle. You know
Okay.
what's happening. Is it
Little
at
bit forward,
zero? And
back.
then back to zero, and there you go.
So is that
Voila.
alright?
That looks good. Yep.
Maybe
Now,
I did it wrong.
they have to go over in that gizmo, which is a pressure cooker, and we wouldn't think of doing it any other way except under 10 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes. And we'll show you the results of that after we get these all done in that and out of that, and we'll show you what it looks like. It won't look much different than it looks now. It does lose a little bit of color, but oh wow, it gains a lot of flavor. So we'll check that out in the next little session.